deep breath. It is Monday. It's a very pretty Monday, but it's Monday. About 10 minutes to 9. I have a meeting in a property that I completely forgot about. It's supposed to be at 9 o'clock. And my calendar reminder came up 15 minutes beforehand, which probably need to change that to be a little bit further back. Anyway, I'm on my way. Called and left a voicemail, let him know that I was running behind and I'll be there a few minutes late. So, other than that, everything's going pretty good for a Monday morning. We did have one. Let's get this shit off here. Had a drive over the weekend, so I've got bugs crusted all over the windshield. Can't see anything. Anyway, Monday, so far so good. Had one individual from the office call in sick, and we got one on vacation, so a little bit short-staffed, but it'll all work out. So let's do this as a recap from the weekend. A little turbulence for me specifically, and it's important that I kind of talk through that. So we got into Friday, and it was good, but I was feeling a little tense, a little edgy, which I pretty much was all week. I had some ups and downs, but I was really focused on this startup, and should be. I mean, it's going to be a big part of our lives, and but it was having more of an effect on me about where this was going, and I was kind of hitting some resistance. Which wasn't completely unexpected. Again, I've had a few things along the way where I've hit a kind of a wall talking to or dealing with somebody that doesn't quite grasp the concept, because it's so different, it's so unique, and you just can't really convey that quickly and efficiently. So I ran into that with all the leasing people that I've talked to in the last couple of months trying to find a space. I ran into that with trying to interview attorneys, and same thing with the CPA. It's just, this is what we're doing, but we're doing this, and this also. So it doesn't really fit into any specific category or group, and I'm trying to do something completely different. And I don't have a problem explaining it, and if someone's got the time to sit and wait it out for me to explain it, it can be done. But you get people jumping to conclusions and assumptions. Well, if you're going to do this, and you got to be doing this, and if you're going to do this, you have to do this. Well, no, it's not going to be like that. I'm bending some rules, I'm breaking some rules, and I'm trying to change the paradigm. And I keep running through it in my head, and I keep frustrating myself in anticipation of dealing with people that I'm not going to be able to explain it to. They're not going to be able to see past a certain point. And luckily, with the exception of one leasing guy, I really haven't run into too much of that. What was actually starting to become an issue was the contrast between what I want to do and how I want to do it, and what Rhonda wants to do. how she wants to do it. And it's not necessarily that she wants to do things differently, but she's having trouble, again, grasping some of these concepts because they're not quite typical business structure. And again, I'm trying to change it. I'm trying to break new ground, and I'm trying to show that people can do something different, do something unique without following all the guidelines that are out there, without fitting neatly into a descriptive box. So, during this process over the last couple of weeks, like, all right, the concept has evolved. What originally was going to be just a one-person interactive experience has evolved into now 3,500 square feet of restaurant space and 3 different decor themes and 2 different concepts, really, with the food side and coffee shop side. So it's gotten a little bigger than what I had expected, a little bit bigger than what I was originally anticipating, but the idea is that it can still be done with 2 people. I can do the food side and Rhonda can do the coffee shop side. She's having a lot of difficulty accepting, it being a one-person setup. And I can understand that because there just isn't too much out there unless it's just a really small mom-and-pop shop. And we're trying to take that small mom-and-pop shop and put it into a little bit larger venue and generate enough revenue to support it and support us. So, I've been thinking about, what can we do to save time? What can we do to save money? What can we do to make it more efficient? All this along the way to make it a realistic possibility that 2 people can do this. And there's several reasons why I want it to be that way. One, I don't want to be relying on any type of staff. Like today's situation at the office is an exact reason why. We have somebody that called in sick. Are they really sick? Maybe, maybe not. Are they just using their PTO days? Maybe. Do they have that right? Absolutely. But now the office is short-staffed. We have to compensate. Different people have to do extra workload because somebody else isn't there, because we do not have a structure set up to really accommodate the loss of somebody when somebody's not there. It's just that work doesn't get done. For me, if I don't go to work one day, the only person I'm really affecting is me, because I'm really kind of independent. I do my own stuff and I delegate other things out. But if I'm not there, with the exception of communication, which people in the office will still communicate with me, they'll still send me texts, they'll still send me emails throughout the day, and I will generally, even if I'm sick or if I'm on, just out of the office taking a PTO day, I'll respond, unless I'm on vacation, which I'll just cut off all communication, which only happens when we go on the cruise. And I did the same thing when we were in Florida recently. I just severed all ties. I'm like, I'm off, I'm on vacation, I'm not looking at any business stuff, I'm not doing anything. And you need that every once in a while. Actually, you need that more than once in a while. But anyway, so the structure is designed so that it's us, just us. We're not relying on any other individuals. We're not building a system that needs other bodies in there. And this is tricky, especially in the restaurant game. It's staffing. Hiring the staff that you need that fits your culture is difficult enough. Finding staff that is loyal and dedicated and comes to work, rain or shine, sick or whatever, and does what they need to do impossible. I was like that my entire career, with the exception, until I started working in real estate. You went to work sick. You went to work if there was bad things happening. You just made that commitment and went. And if needed, you would get in, and hopefully, if you needed the time off, or you were truly sick and business was slow, that you would be able to be released and sent home. But you would always go and make sure that the needs of the business were being fulfilled before you took off. And that's just how I did it. I went more than 20 years without calling in sick to any job. And now, like I said, we take extra steps. We use a variety of supplements. We include exercise into our daily routine. It's part of how we live our life. We do things to keep ourselves fit and healthy, and that allows us to put more into what we're doing, and hopefully not have to deal with any kind of illness, which again is going to have an impact on the business. But so anyway, I've been working in my head, developing the systems, how this is going to work, the structure of the business. Where's the equipment? How are guests coming and going? How's the flow work? And what can you do to be efficient, get as many people in and out of the door as possible, to keep revenues high, and see the people's needs as necessary with just two people. And I've been building this, but I haven't really had a chance to share that with anybody, including Rhonda. So getting into Friday, she was kind of stressed about, and this is building. She brings it up every once in a while. Are you sure we can do this with no help? Are you sure we can do this without hiring staff? We're going to need to do this. We're going to need to do that. If people have to wait in line, they're not going to come back. And I'm taking all this into account, and I'm trying to build a business model that accommodates all of that. And I just really haven't had enough time really to sit down with her and kind of explain, lay it out. All right, well, if we do this, this, and this, and we're open on these days and these hours, and we offer this, and this during these times, and we do it this way, we can do it. But she sees just the general business idea. Well, if you're open, then you need to be open, and if you're going to serve, you need to serve everything, and if you're going to have guests coming and going, you need to be able to take care of them. I'm like, well, that's how restaurants generally work, but it's trying to do something new, trying to do something different. So we kind of had some friction going getting into Friday. We got into Friday, got off work, and I was like, I'm going to work out, and I want to start the weekend right. We had plans to go out of town to a football game on Saturday, and I was already starting to stress that because I've spent pretty much every waking minute thinking about this business and how to make this work. I've been planning it. I've been just rolling it through my head day in, day out, all the time. I mean, even when I'm doing my property management stuff, I still have it rolling in my mind, kind of in the background. So Friday ended up being kind of stressful, and we were getting into Saturday, and I was like, I just don't want to make this trip and when we could be working on developing this business. So it got real kind of stressful. We were kind of not seeing eye to eye. She would say, all right, well, what about this and this and this, or I want to do this. I'm like, well, no, we can't really do that if we're going to do this, because it just won't mix. It doesn't fit the model. And I think she felt like I was just arbitrarily shooting down her ideas, but I'm trying to, like I said, this is going to be a very delicate system and flow that's going to have to be, spot on and have to be followed to a T to be able to be successful. And she was, I think, irritated, agitated, and it kind of bubbled over, and we kind of butted heads a little bit. And we got away for the weekend, which again we didn't really want to do. It was extremely stressful. I was super stressed out on Saturday, just driving out to so I'm supposed to be meeting somebody here and I don't see them here, and I'm 10 minutes late. So anyway, we went, and it was really starting. I felt like I was being crushed, because I'm like, you know what, this is getting to the point now where I'm considering canceling our vacation, because we're scheduled for a cruise the week, 2 weeks before we're supposed to be opening, and it's building to a point where it's not what I wanted. I didn't want to build a prison. And this is what I was starting to feel like I was doing. I was building a prison. It's something I'm going to have to be confined to, trapped in. I'm not going to be able to take time off to go to, Stefan's graduation. I'm not going to be able to take time off to take vacations. And the whole business model was geared around, 1, freedom, 2, independence, entrepreneurship, and flexibility, and enjoying life, and not being just, all right, this is what it is, and we're going to do this for 20 years, and hopefully we make enough to support ourselves, and then maybe in our later years we can travel when we maybe not are maybe not experiencing the same health that we were. And I think this is this is the guy I was waiting for. Anyway, I'll finish this up later, but all in all, we got away, and then yesterday was 100% better, and we started talking about some of the dynamics, and actually kind of started meshing together, and getting away helped, and I'll talk about that later.